Find a polynomial with real coefficients that has given zeros. Now we're going to find a basic one, nothing elaborate. Real means we can't have imaginary zeros. So there's a theorem that says if you do have an imaginary zero, then automatically, since we're dealing with the real number system, we have another zero. It's called the conjugate, and the conjugate is the same as the one that's given, except we change the middle sign. So we have our three zeros now. And those three zeros are x equals -1, x equals 3 minus 5i, and x equals 3 plus 5i. Now what I want to do is find the factors. So what that means is I need to make these equations equal to 0. So I'm going to add 1 to make this equal to 0. Then I'm going to subtract 3, then add 5i to get 0 on one side here, which means I have x minus 3 plus 5i equals 0. And here I'm going to subtract 3, then subtract 5i, and I have x minus 3 minus 5i equals 0. What we're actually doing is working backwards, as if we were solving a function, finding the zeros. So what that means is that if I drop the zeros, this is a function. Now most systems want you to keep on going, so that's what we're going to do. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to multiply out these two first, because they do something nice, because I need to get rid of those i's. They better go away, in other words. So let's see what happens. I'm going to take x times everything over here. So I get x squared minus 3x minus 5ix. Take -3 times everything over there. And that becomes -3x, positive 9, positive 15i. Then take 5i times everything over there. That's positive 5ix. Positive 5 times 3 is 15i. It's actually not positive, is it? It's 5i times -3 is -15i. And then positive 5i times -5i is negative 25i squared. Now let's look in here and see if anything happens. This 5ix is going to cancel with that 5ix. That 15i cancels with that 15i. I squared is the same as -1. And in case you didn't know this, I'm about to show you something. You do have an I key. It's above the decimal. And if you square it, you do get -1. So what that means is I have x plus 1, and then I have x squared minus 3x is minus 6x, and then I have plus 9, and then minus 25 times -1, which leaves us with, inside the parentheses so far, -25 times -1 is positive 25 equals x plus 1 times x squared minus 6x, and now plus 25 is 34. So now I can take the x times everything over there, and we get x cubed minus 6x squared plus 34x, and take 1 times everything over there, and we just get the same thing back. X squared minus 6x plus 34. Combine like terms, that's our only x cubed term, and then -6x squared plus x squared is -5x squared, plus 34x minus 6x is positive 28x, and then 34 is the only constant, and we are finally done.